beautiful people. Okay, today we're going to have a little recipe, and I think you're going to love this. For one thing, it's pretty healthy, and it's super fast, and it's probably a lot of y'all would have all of this already in your kitchen because sometimes you just I noticed, oh God, my date on my chicken, I need to make it today, and so if you don't have a lot of time but you need something yummy and you want it protein packed, because remember, that's one of our focuses, super strong. So getting our 100 grams in. So I took my package of chicken and in true Joya form, as you know. So I wanted to, flatten it out so they'll be a little thinner, and they also cook a lot better that way. Still haven't bought a rolling pin. I keep forgetting. So trusty bottle of wine is what I use to roll and pound to get our chicken in a position of being amazing. And then this is pretty cool. Did you know they sell parchment paper like in the like they're already cut for you? So 9x13 pan. And then you're just going to lay this in the bottom. And really, you don't even need to do any spray. But I usually still do a little just in case. And so let's see. This is just the butter flavor. And I'm talking, when I say just a little, like this is what just a little looks like. It's not coated by any means. Now, I did notice when I was pounding my chicken that, see how there's still some of that yucky little fat left right there? So I'm going to grab my scissors because I'm not the girl that loves that. So I always want to have, it just be the chicken, if you will. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. So what I'm going to do now is just take the flattened breasts out, and we're going to lay them on the parchment paper. And so this is like enough for 3 large breasts, or you might be able to fit 4 smaller ones. But see what happened when I pounded this one? Look, it got so flat and it just all kind of did its own thing here. So that's why we had to make sure that it'll all fit in the pan. And it will beautifully. Okay, so before I touch what we're going to use for our seasoning, let me just wash my hands real quick. Okay, and I think, y'all, this was maybe like a Pinterest recipe. I was Googling yummy chicken breasts, high protein, keto friendly. So I'll totally have Dan the Man post the actual recipe for you, down below. And what did they even call it? Do they call it something? Does the chicken have a name? No, the chicken does not have a name. Just yummy chicken. That's what we'll go with. Okay, so what did we mix together? Okay, so what we had so far is I actually used the rest of what I had of my Hellmann's mayonnaise. So a cup of this, and I've made it go further before by adding a touch of sour cream if I was running low on mayonnaise. So it just depends on how large the breasts are when you spread them out. So this is what we're working with at the moment. Then it calls for paprika, but I personally like smoked paprika. It does not call for this, but I think it brings out all the flavors. And of course, summertime, I really love this. I love dill all the time, but dill. And sometimes people have trouble understanding that with my Texan. Salt and pepper, which of course is over on the stove. And then onion and garlic powder, which of course y'all know I do not use garlic powder because garlic makes my tummy hurt. So some of you would probably use more garlic because you love it that much. So then it wants us to add a 1/2 cup of our parmesan. So I usually use a combo of this. This is the finely shredded. And then I also have the grated. So I save some of the shredded to go right on the top because it kind of gives it a crispy, really good crusty situation. And then we'll use the rest in here. Now, I have made this recipe. This is going to be our 4th time to enjoy it because I wanted to make sure that I loved it before I shared it with y'all. Sometimes I do just experiment with y'all, but I can testify. So I'm just not measuring exactly, and I'm just spotting it since I've been doing it myself several times now. So then you're just going to stir all these ingredients up, which, like I said, we'll put the recipe down below. And usually I can tell by the color if I want or need more dill or paprika. So I was actually just telling Alexa that I needed a little more dill. And our friends are coming this weekend. I'm so excited. And we're going to make her artichoke spinach dip. So I need to do some shopping. It's about to be Peach Festival time here in my lush Louisiana life. So we're going to do all the peachy things. As a matter of fact, look at this. I'll do a whole video of the weekend, but we even have a peach culinary crawl coming up for when they first get here. So I'm so excited for all the things, and more to come on that. I've gotten some peachy things to surprise her with too, because actually not only does she love coming, peach is her favorite thing. So all the beverages, the desserts, appetizers, all the things. Okay, so we've got a nice smattering here. And so I'm going to try tilting this and see if y'all can see. Oh, yes, that is going to work well. Okay, so we're going to keep our paper towel on standby because we may need it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and your mixture would look less orangey if you used less of that smoked paprika. So whatever is your jam is what you can totally do. Okay, and then it doesn't have to be like a perfect spread over everything, because what's going to happen as it gets melty is it is going to spread. It shall spread and coat everything. So we want to get everything, out of the bowl so that we use all of it up. So like I said, we had already used our mayonnaise for some burgers and, different recipes that I have. So that just happened to be the end of that bottle of mayonnaise. But I think most people usually have some mayo in their refrigerator situation. So you should have most everything that you need. Okay, so we just spread that nicely. You can tell what it's going to look like before. And remember how I told y'all I just save a little of this at the end, because it'll give it a little bit of a crustier top. Crunchy, crusty. And so get to the last drop. Oh, y'all, I just realized this says mozzarella. Okay, it doesn't matter. Parmesan, mozzarella, we're flexible. It's going to all be great. So now we're going to put this in the oven, and it's already preheated to 375. 375. And let's see how long they are wanting us to cook it. 35 to 40 minutes. So stay tuned. Okay, beauties, it's time. Well, it might not be beauties. It might be beauties and handsome ones. Beautiful people. That's why I usually say that. We are going to have our very fun little hot pad. I just said to Dan the man, oh my gosh, our chicken is showing out. She is looking even more beautiful than per usual in her golden encrustedness. So let me just pull this out of the oven so that you can, a little blast of warm air. Oh my gosh, y'all. Look at this. Can you see? Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Okay, so let's see. Let me pull it a little closer. By the way, if you're weird like me and you don't like your house to smell like whatever you're cooking, this is one of the best Yankee candles. It's called Kitchen Spice, and it has like really strong spices, like the nutmeg and the cinnamon and clove, so that it cuts that I'm cooking in the kitchen smell. Okay, look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? Okay, now What we want to do though is cut into it because we always want to make sure that it cooked through and through. The first couple of times I did it, I actually got Danny's thermometer, his meat thermometer, to double check. Oh, that looks so delish. And see that crust, how that does? By the way, I did find the remains of the parm in the oven. I mean, no, not the oven. Can you tell I'm trying to do two things at once? In the fridge. So that is what I ended up sprinkling, on the top of that. So, okay, I'm going to cover it with foil and let it go for 5 more minutes, and then we're going to taste test. And I'm so excited because it smells so good. Okay, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry because now it really smells so good in here. Okay, so as you can tell, chicken is out of the oven. And so I use the, I don't even know where my phone is, but I use the Carb Manager app. I've shared that before. And it can be tricky when you're trying to just like eyeball it. So this is my little hack. And you can tell me, maybe you have an easier one. So I take a paper plate and I take my kitchen scale. And so I turn on the kitchen scale and then I weigh the empty paper plate. Okay. Then, so it says like 0.55 on my scale. Then in the middle of the button, it says Z/T, like it's where you zero it out again, even though there's some weight on it. So you can see actually what the grams of protein are. Okay. So then let's get our chicken. And like there's not a small piece here, y'all. So we're going to kind of create our own. I made a little salad to go with. It's so juicy. There's so much juice. So this is what it's going to look like. But let's measure first. And one of the reasons there's so much juice in there, you guys, is because that mayonnaise seals moisture in so that the chicken breast doesn't dry out. Isn't that so cool? So like this is 5.55 ounces of protein right there. So that's what I'll put into my Carb Manager so that I make sure I know what my grams of protein are, since that's one of my goals. Okay, so this is our beautiful plate right here. Can y'all see? Shorty here, me. I don't even have any shoes on. I'm barefoot in the kitchen. But it's even a beautiful situation. So I just made a little salad with some romaine, a few sunflower seeds for some extra protein and healthy fats, a sprinkling of that Parmesan, and just some oil and vinegar. And then I'm going to have my chicken breast. And so then I'll put all that in my Carb Manager app so that we can track our progress. So what do you think? Does this look yummy enough that you want to try some too? I can't wait to hear. And if you tried, let me know. What was your favorite part? And on the recipe, there's also some variations at the bottom. So if you like stuff spicier or cheesier or whatever, give it all a try and comment and let me know. I'm so happy to be back from Alaska, home with my YouTube community. I'm going to be catching up on comments this week. And so while you're there, make sure to let me know what else you want to see. What do we want to do, people? Let's create a star. I love you, big. Thanks a million for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Do the things. Make it a great day.